Welcome to the CompTIA Project Plus Prepcast by baremetalcyber.com. Physical security in projects encompasses all safeguards used to protect people, devices, records, and facilities from theft, physical damage, or unauthorized access. It is not a separate activity that is handled in isolation, but a coordinated set of measures planned and implemented throughout the project lifecycle. This includes securing mobile and fixed hardware, controlling the use of removable media, and regulating access to physical environments where sensitive work is carried out. The project manager must ensure that these protections are assessed during planning, integrated into execution, and validated during monitoring. Properly designed physical security controls reduce the likelihood of disruptions and support the project's ability to deliver on time, within budget, and in compliance with organizational and regulatory requirements. Mobile devices such as laptops, smartphones, and tablets are critical tools in modern projects but are also among the most vulnerable. Their portability means they are often taken into uncontrolled environments like conference centers, client offices, or public spaces. This mobility creates risks of loss, theft, and tampering, all of which can compromise sensitive data. Protecting these devices begins with ensuring they are encrypted, that secure lock screen policies are enforced, and that tracking or remote wipe tools are installed and active. The project manager should also ensure the team understands safe handling practices such as not leaving devices unattended, using lockable bags during travel, and avoiding connecting to unknown charging stations or public USB ports that could be used to compromise the device. Laptops and other portable equipment require layered protections that combine system-level controls with physical deterrence. On the digital side, user authentication should require strong, unique passwords or multi-factor authentication, and full disk encryption should be enabled so that stored data is inaccessible if the device is stolen. On the physical side, locking cables can secure laptops to desks in shared spaces, and safes or lockable cabinets provide secure storage when devices are not in use. Adding BIOS or firmware passwords prevents unauthorized users from altering boot settings or bypassing operating system protections. This approach makes it significantly harder for attackers to gain access, even if they have physical possession of the hardware. Controlling who has access to project equipment is a core part of accountability. Project devices should only be issued to authorized team members with a clear business need. This can be managed with sign-out logs that record custody, RFID or GPS tags to track location, and badge-based entry to storage rooms. Assigning ownership of each device to a specific individual ensures there is a known point of responsibility for safeguarding the asset. This tracking also supports lifecycle management, as the same records can be used to monitor equipment condition, schedule maintenance, and plan for eventual replacement or decommissioning. Removable media, including USB drives, SD cards, and external disks, are a common but often underestimated risk. Their small size and high capacity make them easy to hide or transport, which creates an opportunity for intentional or accidental data loss. These devices should be encrypted to ensure data is unreadable without the correct keys, and their use should be strictly governed by documented policies. The project manager must monitor when and how media is used, particularly during data transfers from secure systems to less controlled environments. Even a single, unmonitored transfer can result in the loss of sensitive intellectual property or personal information. Policies for external media use must be clearly defined, communicated to all team members, and enforced. Non-approved or personal storage devices should not be allowed in secure environments, and exceptions should require written authorization. When removable media is used, it should be logged into an asset tracking system, scanned for malware before and after use, and inspected for unauthorized files. In highly sensitive environments, disabling USB ports or other connection points entirely is a valid safeguard. This control may seem restrictive, but it can prevent unmonitored data transfers that would otherwise bypass network-based protections. When disposing of or decommissioning media, it is essential to ensure that data cannot be recovered. Simply deleting files or formatting the device is not enough, as these actions leave the underlying data intact. Instead, secure wipe software should be used to overwrite all sectors of the media, or physical destruction methods such as shredding, degaussing, or pulverizing should be applied. In regulated industries, certified destruction may be mandatory, and the project manager should obtain and retain certificates of destruction. This documentation is critical for compliance audits and serves as proof that sensitive information was handled according to policy. Printed project documentation such as plans, schedules, diagrams, and reports can contain information just as sensitive as any digital file. These materials must be stored in locked cabinets or rooms when not in use, and access should be restricted to authorized personnel. Controlled printer access ensures that confidential documents are not left unattended in output trays, and a clean desk policy minimizes the risk of documents being exposed in shared spaces. Outdated or no longer needed paper records should be destroyed using cross-cut shredders or secure disposal services to ensure the information is unrecoverable. Securing physical access to facilities and project spaces is critical for protecting assets and maintaining confidentiality. Sensitive areas such as server rooms, network closets, and project war rooms should be secured with key cards, biometric scanners, or PIN-based locks, and access should be logged to record who entered and when. Visitors must be checked in at a reception point, issued temporary badges, and escorted at all times. These controls help ensure that only authorized individuals are present in spaces where they could view or interact with sensitive systems or information. Off-site and temporary locations often have different risk profiles and may lack the same protections as permanent facilities. Job sites, client offices, or event venues may require portable safes, locking transport cases, or dedicated security personnel to safeguard equipment. In shared office environments or conference settings, the risk of unauthorized observation or access is higher, making it necessary to store devices securely and limit the exposure of sensitive materials. The project manager should conduct a site-specific security assessment before work begins and implement measures suited to the conditions at that location. Network hardware, including routers, switches, and servers, must be physically secured to prevent unauthorized tampering or theft. This is best achieved by installing the equipment in lockable racks or cabinets located in restricted access rooms. Surveillance cameras can monitor these spaces, and access should be limited to authorized technical staff. Labeling and logging each device in an inventory system ensures that all equipment is accounted for, which helps in detecting missing items and planning for replacements or upgrades. Surveillance systems are valuable not only for deterring unauthorized access, but also for investigating incidents after they occur. Cameras should be placed to provide full coverage of sensitive areas without creating blind spots. Recorded footage should be stored securely and retained for a period that meets both organizational policy and legal requirements. The presence of visible cameras can act as a deterrent, while their recorded output provides evidence to support disciplinary actions, insurance claims, or law enforcement investigations. Environmental controls are a final but essential layer of physical security. Equipment and facilities can be damaged by fire, flooding, extreme temperatures, or power interruptions. Fire suppression systems suited to the environment, reliable HVAC systems for temperature and humidity control, and environmental monitoring sensors are key to preventing damage. Backup power solutions such as UPS systems and generators help maintain operations during outages, preventing service interruptions and data loss. Routine maintenance and testing of these systems ensure they will function as intended when needed. For more cyber-related content and books, please check out cyberauthor.me. Also, there are other prepcasts on cybersecurity and more at baremetalcyber.com. Badge systems and access credentials are an important part of controlling physical movement within project environments. These systems regulate who can enter specific areas, and the permissions assigned can be based on role, schedule, or other criteria. Access can be configured to only allow entry during certain hours, or to require multi-factor authentication, such as a badge combined with a biometric scan. The project manager should coordinate with human resources and security teams to ensure access levels are reviewed regularly, updated when team roles change, and removed promptly when a person no longer requires entry to a controlled area. This prevents lingering access privileges that could be exploited. Shared workspace security protocols are essential in environments where desks and workstations are not permanently assigned, such as hot desking or co-working arrangements. In these setups, sensitive items like project documents, devices, and removable media should be secured in lockable drawers or portable safes whenever they are unattended. Devices should remain password protected and, if possible, physically locked to furniture. A clean desk policy ensures that no sensitive papers or notes are left in view when a workspace is vacated. These measures help prevent unauthorized viewing or theft in spaces where many different individuals share the same work area. Monitoring the movement of physical assets provides visibility and accountability for equipment, such as laptops, monitors, specialized tools, and prototypes. This can be achieved through asset tags, barcodes, QR codes, or GPS trackers, depending on the mobility and value of the item. Regular audits of asset locations and conditions help identify losses, misuse, or unauthorized transfers early. The project manager should maintain an updated inventory that records who is responsible for each item and the dates of issue and return, supporting both operational needs and compliance requirements. Securing the transport of equipment and media is a critical part of protecting assets that must move between sites. Tamper-evident bags, locked transport containers, and chain of custody logs help ensure that items are not accessed or altered while in transit. Sensitive or high-value equipment should never be left unattended in vehicles or public areas, and couriers handling such shipments should be vetted and insured. The project manager should verify that transportation plans include safeguards for both physical protection and accountability. An incident response plan for physical security breaches outlines the specific steps to take if a theft, unauthorized access, or loss occurs. This plan should include how to report incidents, who to notify internally and externally, and what actions to take to contain the issue. Investigation procedures should be clearly defined, and recovery actions such as replacing equipment or securing alternative work areas should be prioritized. All incidents and responses should be documented in the project log to support follow-up analysis and prevent recurrence. Training the project team on physical security helps ensure that every member understands their role in protecting assets. Training topics should include how to handle devices securely, how to manage access to spaces, how to work safely in shared environments, and how to report suspicious activity. Refresher sessions should be scheduled at intervals during the project lifecycle, especially if the team changes or moves to a new location. A well-informed team is one of the most effective defenses against physical security risks. Security procedures during offboarding or project closure must include the recovery of all issued devices, keys, access cards, and badges from departing team members. Laptops and mobile devices should be wiped of project data, and all associated user accounts must be disabled. Access logs should be reviewed to confirm that credentials have been revoked and no unauthorized attempts have been made. These steps protect against residual access that could be exploited after a person leaves the project. Balancing security and productivity requires the project manager to apply controls in a way that does not hinder necessary work. Overly restrictive measures can cause delays, frustrate the team, and even encourage workarounds that create new vulnerabilities. Involving team members in discussions about security controls can help identify solutions that provide adequate protection without interfering with essential operations. This collaborative approach can improve compliance and overall satisfaction. Third-party and contractor access controls must be treated with the same rigor as those for internal staff. Contractors should only be given access to the areas and resources they require, and only for the duration of their work. Their activity should be monitored, and any deviations from agreed security practices should be addressed immediately. The project manager should verify that contracts explicitly require compliance with the organization's physical security policies and allow for enforcement actions if needed. Physical security audits and reviews are a proactive way to identify weaknesses and confirm that controls are functioning as intended. These audits should include reviewing badge logs, visitor records, and asset inventories to ensure accuracy. Inspections of facilities and storage areas can uncover overlooked risks such as unsecured equipment or malfunctioning locks. Findings should be documented, and corrective measures should be implemented promptly to strengthen the overall security posture. Integrating physical and IT security acknowledges that many risks span both domains. A stolen laptop, for example, is both a physical loss and a potential data breach. Coordination between physical security teams and IT staff ensures that endpoints are protected, network access is controlled, and threats are addressed comprehensively. This unified approach improves the project's overall resilience against both physical and digital attacks. Case examples of physical security failures can be a valuable part of training and planning. Common incidents such as laptops left in unlocked vehicles or server rooms left open illustrate the real-world consequences of lapses. Reviewing these examples helps team members understand the importance of compliance and how small oversights can lead to significant impacts. Lessons learned from these cases can be built into future project security plans to prevent recurrence. The project manager's responsibility for physical security includes assessing potential threats, planning appropriate controls, and overseeing their implementation. This involves safeguarding devices, media, and facilities against theft, loss, and breaches, while ensuring that controls are practical and consistently applied. Strong physical security not only protects assets, but also supports the safe and successful delivery of the project's objectives, maintaining the trust of stakeholders and ensuring operational continuity. Thank you for listening. Please follow baremetalcyber.com on social media and check out our books at cyberauthor.me.